Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about the real reason why movies today make $1 billion, and that's a billion with a B, not a M. And so the reason for that is that I've noticed something about people online, Twitter, YouTube, is like whenever somebody criticizes a movie or a movie franchise that they love, their first argument is, well, it made $1 billion. And then that normally shuts people up because how can you really counter that? You know what I'm saying? Well, there is a way to counter that. And so, and I get kind of tired when people use that excuse because people never stop and think of the real reason as to why movies of today make $1 billion as opposed to movies in the past. I've seen this happen with the MCU, the DCEU, all the Spider-Man movies and the MCU Spider-Man movies. And so it's like people are always arguing about this because it's kind of like, people keep saying, oh, they don't like the MCU Spider-Man no more because he's Iron Man Jr. And they say, and people say, oh, the Sam Raimi movies were better. And then somebody will always be like, well, it made $1 billion and everything. And so that normally shuts people up. But people are forgetting what time they're living in. It's 2022. This isn't 2002 no more. And so, the reason why a lot of stuff today, a lot of movies make $1 billion in America before they go overseas is because think of it like this. Say you want a cheeseburger at your fast food place, right? And it's a pretty recognizable fast food place, McDonald's, Burger King, Arby's, whatever. And so a cheeseburger, not the rinky-dink kind that's gonna cost like $2 or something. I'm talking about like a real juicy looking cheeseburger, one of those fancy kind, so fancy that when you see it on the menu, you like push the person down in front of you just so you can be in front of the line. Those burgers are gonna cost you roughly around $5 in tax, which is gonna come up around to $6 or something, or 6 and some change. And then, of course, you get the combo meal. That's going to break you to about $8 to $9 and everything. But hop in your time machine. Now, if you're a person of color. Because going back to the 1950s ain't going to be good. But hop back in your time machine to the 1950s. And guess what? You go to those same places like McDonald's and stuff, and you get yourself a cheeseburger. It's going to cost you 15 cents. That's right. Because the economy was just so different back then, and people never factor in the economy, inflation, this and that. Prices are, ever since then, prices have been going up. Look at gas. Gas was so cheap back in those olden days, but look at it now. And people never want to factor that in as to why movies make so much money now. Movies make $1 billion now because movie ticket prices. That is the reason and the only reason why. Yes, it does have to do whether or not a movie is good. If a movie's good, then of course you're gonna see it more than one time, probably. And more people are gonna watch it if it does good. But it's all about that money. It's all about the movie ticket. Movie tickets cost a lot more money than they did like 15 years ago or even 20 years ago. So you've heard my story before. I'm more of a TV guy than a movie guy. But when I was in college and I used to still have friends before I got rid of everybody, I used to go to the movies and everything. And me and my friends, we would go to the movie theater. And I don't remember what movie it was. It was probably Harry Potter or Resident Evil or something. And it was all sold out. Now, just like money is changing, so do movie theaters. And we went to the rave. Remember the rave? No, because Carmike 10 bought it out. Remember Carmike 10? No, because AMC bought them out. Anyways, The movie theater we went to was like the rave. It was all sold out. So we didn't know what we were going to do on that Friday night because we wanted to see the movie really bad. So we broke out the phone book. Yeah, we still had those in the early 2000s. And then we found another movie theater. And then so we found it. It was kind of hidden. Like we didn't know what street it was on. It was kind of a weird way to get there, but it was hidden in everything. Now, this movie theater used to be one of the big, huge movie theaters back in the day until things like the rave came over and started putting those movie theaters everywhere. So this big time movie theater has now become a medium-sized movie theater. And if we would have went to the rave and so, I wish they would turn that truck off. It's the garbage people. Like it don't take that long to pick up that crap. Anyway, if we would have went to the rave and saw the movies, back when I was in college in the early 2000s, a movie ticket would have cost about $8, right? And so when we found this other movie theater that's much smaller but had newer movies and stuff, and because it was smaller, they brought the price down and we was able to see newer movies for $4. And so we kept that our little secret. We kept going there. And then, every city, well, not every city, but every once in a while, you'll in a city, you'll see somebody have one of those dollar movie theaters. They gotta wait for a new movie to come out like a month past, and then they'll start having it. And then you can watch a movie for $1. But me and my friends didn't want to wait a month. So what did we do? We just went to that medium-sized one and watched it for $4. Until eventually they got bought out and everything by the rave. And so then we're like, okay, fine, $8, not that bad. Well, when I was out of college, and so, like, when I was out of college, movie prices, tickets have went up. Now we have regular movies, we had 3D movies, and we had IMAX. And the big craze of like the 3D movie thing, ticket prices went up. A regular ticket price would be around $10. A 3D movie would be around 13 to 15, about 13 or so. And the IMAX would be around 15. See, the prices went up. Therefore, the movie's making more money, and the more you see it. The whole craze of the 3D thing has now went away. Thank God for that, because they all sucked. It was pointless making things 3D. I wish that garbage truck people will leave. Anyways, I haven't been to the movie theaters in quite a while because I have tinnitus now. And the last movie I went to go see in the theaters was Avengers Endgame. I don't remember how much the ticket was, probably $12 at that time, a regular one and stuff. And so I was kind of like, I wonder what ticket prices are like now. So I did a nice little Google search and everything of regular ticket prices, IMAX, and crap like that. And you will see the vast difference of when I used to go to the movies back in the day. For a kid, like those movie tickets, as you can see, are $10. That is ridiculous, as opposed to that of the adult and stuff, and not far behind and everything. And it's like movie tickets are just going up in price. So when you have a movie like the MCU, which is a family movie, there is violence, but there's not that harsh profanity. There's no nudity. There's no blood. You can take as many family members as you want. You have a bunch of kids, that's gonna rack up some money at these movie theaters, and of course it's gonna rack up to the success of the movie. And it's kind of like that is what's causing these movies now to make $1 billion, is that when it does good and the movie ticket prices are going up, you see how much the IMAX thing is on this thing. And then every once in a while you'll find a discount place on a certain day or a certain time, 30% off. And as you can see, some of these prices are really low at certain other places in town. You just have to you gotta be good at making a deal and everything. It's kind of like, because these discount things, they're like in the afternoons or early in the morning and stuff like that on a certain day. But as you can see, ticket prices are pricey now. And so after it makes a good amount of money in, like, you know, America, then you have to take it overseas and it makes more money. And not to mention, there's an added advantage. Streaming. See, back in the day, a movie would come out, it'll do good at the box office, but then you have DVD or VHS sales. Now, you have DVD sales, Blu-ray, 4K, which is more money, and you also have it on streaming, which is, of course, gonna make it more money and stuff, which makes that extra billion and stuff. So I get really sick and tired of seeing people argue that, oh, you know, Spider-Man No Way Home is the best Spider-Man movie ever because it made $1 billion, and Sam Raimi movies didn't. But everybody keeps praising those movies. Well, Sam Raimi movies came out like in 2002. And it was during a time when movie tickets were so cheap and everything. And now movie tickets are just like about as much as a DVD itself and stuff. And so, like, I wish people just stop using that argument. Like, that don't mean nothing. Just because it makes $1 billion don't mean nothing no more, you know? And also, you know, you gotta take into account social media. Even though it was huge back in the day, like in the 2000s, it's like colossal size now. Like now, you know, you have people reviewing it on YouTube. You have people talking about it on, like, you know, Twitter and stuff. So there's more hype for the movie, and there's more hype for the movie. You're gonna see it, and then you're gonna see it more because you enjoyed it, and then you watch those reviews and you're getting hyped even more, and you're gonna keep watching it even more and stuff. And so, you know, the times have just changed. It's a progression of life. I bet you anything in the next 10 years, movie tickets probably like $20 and everything. And then, of course, by that time, a movie will probably make $1 trillion and everything. So just because somebody doesn't like your favorite movie or franchise and they criticize it and everything, and so just stop using the argument, oh, well, it made $1 billion and everything. You gotta stop and think about the logic of it all. If prices are going up at the movies and everything, then therefore it's gonna make a lot more money. And then you have people who try to cheat, like Avengers Endgame, that had, like, once they showed it at one point in time, about like a year later or a couple months later, they showed it again in theaters, making that extra billion because they wanted to beat Avatar. And then you have Morbius, I'm trying again because it just didn't do well. Plus, you have to take into account when these bigger movie theaters buy out these other bigger movie theaters, they gotta make their money back. So they increase the price of, like, the ticket. It's the same thing with these streaming sites. They're going up in price, especially when they start merging with all these other, like, you know, streaming sites. Hulu and Disney Plus now. You know, they're changing their prices now as a result of the merger and stuff. So you have to think about that stuff. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.